Hi everybody, I'm Tash.
And I'm Damo.
And we are so excited to bring you this week's episode of
The
Barry Chronicles.
This week's episode of the Berry Chronicles is proudly brought to you by Pure Botany Purveyors. Check them out at www.bariatricsupportaustralia.com.
How you doing, Damo?
I'm good. Good, actually.
That is very good to hear.
Yes. So, bullshit. It's everywhere.
It is.
Can be found in all forms and walks of life.
Absolutely.
When we were talking to Dr. Craven, there was a few things that he said that just sort of made me think a bit.
Yeah.
And some things that I always thought about myself, but was actually crap.
Yeah.
And
So some internal bullshit.
yeah, some internal bullshit. And I think one of those things to do with weight loss surgery was when I regained some of my weight, I blamed myself for it.
Yep.
I must have been eating the wrong thing, or there must have been something that I wasn't doing right. Now, I did have a regain as a result of pain meds and the nerve medication that I was on.
Yep.
But once I got off all that, I lost that excess weight that I put on from it. But what I'm talking about is, so for me, as you know, I'm sleeved. My hunger came back, and I found myself feeling like I was hungry.
Freaking out,
going, oh my gosh, I must have stretched my sleeve. And
how often do we hear it? Okay, so internal bullshit conversation that happens in our mind post weight loss surgery is, holy fuck, I am hungry.
Yeah.
I can feel it.
Yep.
It's gurgling. The sleeve is gurgling, or the pouch is starting to gurgle.
And when I was freshly sleeved, it was, it's all head hunger. You just have to ignore it. But it's not in my head that I'm hungry, it's in my stomach.
So one thing that I took away from the conversation with Dr. Kramer was that around that 18-month post-op period, we will start to and should experience the return of those hunger.
Yeah, I was really amazed. I'm 10 years, nearly 10 years post-op, and I thought the hunger signals that I get now was because I had stretched my sleeve.
Or a moral failing on your behalf?
Yeah.
So if you are listening to us and you are a weight loss surgery person and you have experienced hunger feelings, we're not referring to that refluxy feeling that you might experience within the first year. That's legitimately a thing, and we know that, and we understand that, and we can have medication for that. We're talking about those hunger feelings, like I'm hungry, feed me. Those kinds of feelings after a period of 18 months to 2 years. It's not your fault. You haven't done anything wrong.
Yeah. And I think that is such an important conversation, because, and it's so easy for us as weight loss patients, we can revert back to that old way of feeling and thinking, and we end up in that shame spiral because I'm hungry, I must have done something wrong,
Yeah.
and
I need to restrict, I need to diet, I need to do all of these things. When we feel that hunger feeling, what is it triggering in us? And it's a really, really important question to ask ourselves, I think anyway.
Yeah.
Is feeling hunger causing us to question our worth? Is it causing us to question whether our surgeries worked? What is that hunger feeling doing? Because all it is, that hunger feeling is a biological response.
Yeah. That we should be feeling.
To being hungry. But what I know for myself, and I have experienced even with bypass, is that when I feel hungry, there are times where I start worrying. I start wondering, oh my goodness, does this mean that I've done something wrong? Have I failed in some way? Is this a sign of more to come? What will happen if I start doing now what I used to do back in the day?
Yeah.
Prior to my surgery when I had these feelings.
And do you think it's because we've conditioned ourselves and been conditioned by external factors, the weight issue, the excess weight that we might be carrying is our fault?
100%. 100%. One of the really interesting parts of that conversation that we had recently with Dr. Craven was how much of an emphasis he placed on genetic factors.
Yeah. And that's not blaming our parents or our grandparents for the way that we are.
No.
It's our genetic build, our DNA.
It's in our makeup. It's a predisposition towards certain things. There is so much mapping of genes and things that have been done, but that will be done in the decades to come. Maybe one day we'll know much more than we know now, but what we do know now is that our genetic makeup does play a part in our weight.
Yeah.
And we can run, we can fight against, we can do all of these things to, I suppose, try to mitigate what might have happened had we not had weight loss surgery. But ultimately, we still may have some of those, well, we still do have some of those genetic predispositions towards certain things.
Yeah.
Even after weight loss surgery. And so when we feel hungry, when we feel all of those things, it's really important, I think, that we have a realistic look at our hunger, at what it's telling us and what it's not telling us. Your hunger doesn't mean that you're a failure. Your hunger does not mean that you can't succeed in the long term.
Yeah.
Your hunger does not mean that you are bad. It does not mean that you've done something wrong. It means that your body needs some nutrients. It means that you're hungry.
See, I think one of the things that I'm realizing is that calling any form of bariatric surgery weight loss surgery, it sort of, in a way, takes away the power of what it actually is, and that we should be doing it for our health reasons.
Oh, yeah, Damo, it's a pet topic for both of us, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Because for the last 8 years, I have even felt guilty because I regained some of my weight from my lowest point to now. But I have maintained nearly the same weight for the last 6 years.
Yeah, that's right. Which in and of itself apparently is unheard of for is so difficult to do because genetically speaking, I think that we're all supposed to gain a little bit.
Yeah, it's like between 1 and 2 kilos is a normal
That's normal, quite normal.
weight gain. So I'm only at the very beginning of this, but reframing the way I see myself and my journey as I haven't failed at all.
No.
I did something which straight up gave me an extra 5 years of life when the endocrinologist said that I'd be dead within 5 years if I didn't lose weight.
That's right.
I'm now 10 years post-op, and I still have life ahead of me.
That's right. Yeah.
And that's where the real power is. It's not in the size clothes that I'm wearing.
It's not in that, and it's certainly not in a number on the scales. So much of, and what you said about weight loss surgery really resonates with me, and it really has impacted me personally. Even my own social media handle on Instagram has changed of recent times, purely because I am looking beyond that weight loss now, and I'm looking at the life that my bariatric procedure has given to me, and that I have given to myself.
Yeah.
As I have learned to steward the gift that is the bariatric surgery procedure.
Yeah, because let's be honest about it. It's not the surgeon that gets us to where we've lost weight or given our health back, or decreased our blood pressure medications, decreased our insulin, or whatever it is. It's not the surgeon that did that. Yep. He gave us a tool, or she, or whoever gave us a tool by doing surgery on us, but we've had to put in the work to actually use them.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think that most surgeons would agree with that as well. It is a life-giving, life-affirming tool that we can use in order to reframe our future, in order to embrace our health and embrace the life that comes after that procedure is done.
Yeah.
But there is a walking out of the life that comes after the procedure that I think is so important, that we start to look beyond the weight loss and we embrace the life that comes after that.
Yeah.
Where we don't look at the scales, where we look at, for example, I would love to see people's before and after pillboxes.
Yeah.
I'd love to see people's before and after step counters, and those goals, those things that have nothing to do with the scales. The way that you can run around with your kids, the way that you can be fit and go on long runs with your puppy dog, or with you can ride your horse or do whatever it is that you couldn't do before that you can do now. If you're a runner, if you're a swimmer, whatever it is, it's those health benefits. It's the gaining of the life that comes after the surgery that really needs to be our primary focus when we're doing this. Not about a number.
Yeah, because we have the surgery, and for most of us, that really only impacts us for the first 18 months.
Yeah, agreed. I agree.
And then it's about maintaining the weight that we have lost. Now, for some of us, some people will naturally lose more weight than other people, but I think that, number one, it's important to look at percentage rather than just straight out numbers.
Yeah.
But this is where the spiraling and the self-loathing comes into it. If we don't get to a certain number that we think we should, well, and I've been guilty of it in the past, I would ignore the fact that I was no longer on 350 units of insulin a day. I'd ignore the fact that I was no longer taking 32 tablets every day.
Yeah.
But I didn't get down to my goal weight.
Yeah, whatever the number was.
Whatever that number was. Yet, ignoring the fact of all these other things that had increased my health by getting rid of it, had increased my ability to spend time with my family and to actually hear what was going on instead of always in this sort of haze of drug-induced whatever that I was in. Yeah, I wasn't celebrating that. I was still spiraling because of a number on the scale, and because there was a few people, be it on social media or even face-to-face, that would comment. And, like, it's none of their fucking business.
No, it's not. So, if we have those numeric goals, and look, I'm a numbers kind of girl.
Yep.
As you know, Damo, I love me some good stats.
Yep.
I've always been that way. I absolutely love that kind of thing. But when the numbers become more important to you than your life, than your health, than your mental well-being, there is a problem.
Yeah.
When the numbers are the focus, we need to, in my opinion, take a longer, harder look and start coming up with some other things that we can use as a reference to know that we're progressing towards the goals that we have.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with numeric goals. Please hear us. You can have those numeric goals, that's fine. But if they're the only thing that you look at, and if they're what you take your self-esteem from and your sense of self-worth, if they're wrapped up in those numbers, when the numbers change, you feel like shit.
Yep.
You're more than numbers. We all are. And we need to positively set ourselves up so that when we are achieving these other things that are completely awesome and so exciting, that we can celebrate ourselves as we're making those life-changing choices. Like those walks with the kids that they will never forget.
Yeah.
Those bike rides, those little goals that you have for yourself, those little things, that outfit that you wanted to wear, those shoes that you never thought you'd be able to balance in, whatever it might be. Let's celebrate all of those things. Let's celebrate better blood test results. Let's celebrate all of those kinds of things. I mean, I know for me, a huge one was actually not using my asthma puffer anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, that's incredible.
That was amazing. Being able to walk up a hill and not feel like my lungs were going to cave in.
Yeah.
That was incredible. But for me, it was amazing. You know, I had very, very bad exercise-induced asthma for many years, and my health and you know, my lung capacity, my ability to be able to take in a good breath has significantly improved since my surgery. I can run now, and I'm fine.
Yeah. And how amazing is that? And that is nothing to do with the numbers on the scale.
Absolutely nothing at all. But it has meant so much to me. I vividly remember going to a beach here in Victoria in Torquay. It's off a road called Darien Road, and we would we would go there quite often in the summer, in the evenings. And when I was still in my bigger body, I remember walking down the part where we like to go, there's no stairs or anything like that. It's just the sand dune. And for the longest time, I wouldn't even bother to try to go down. I would just sort of sit up on the top of the sand dunes and watch my family from afar.
Yeah.
I would watch my kids on the beach. I would watch my children playing in the ocean and my kids building sandcastles. And I would not go down there because I was terrified that I wouldn't be able to walk back up over the hill.
Yeah.
And I remember at my biggest, one day just being so incredibly sad that I was missing out. I was crying, sitting up on those sand dunes, and I decided, no, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go down there. And I did. And I had an asthma attack coming back up.
Yeah.
And it wasn't very long after that I decided that I had to do something because life was just so limited.
Yeah.
And now, you better believe I can beat those boys up over those sand dunes. I outrun them.
You're the first one on the beach.
I'm the first one on the beach and, probably the last to leave, but the first back to the car. And that's something that I know weight loss surgery, bariatric surgery, has given to me, but also I have given to me.
Yeah.
And it's got nothing to do with the scales.
Yep. But you still had to take that, didn't you? Because, we can get trapped in our limited thinking of, what if I do have that asthma attack? Well, you could have it at your biggest, or, there's a potential there that you could have it even after you've lost weight.
That's right.
Are you going to grasp the opportunity that is in front of you and run with it?
Yeah.
Or do we shy away from it because of a fear that hasn't even materialized?
Yeah. The fear, the stigma, the...
See, I would have sat at the top of that dune and gone, well, okay, I want to be down there, but at least I'm up here, I'm watching, and I won't be embarrassing my family.
Yeah. Yep. And I know that so many of us can relate to that. That was me. That was how I felt. I was a bystander in my own life for decades. And it still breaks my heart. It breaks my heart to this day when I'm sitting even like at football training, for argument's sake, and I see somebody sitting in a car and I'm well aware why they're sitting there, and my heart breaks for them because I know I've been that mother sitting in that car. I've been that person that just felt unworthy, that felt like, oh my God, I don't want to cause shame to my family. I don't want them to be embarrassed by me. And it was honestly one of the driving factors behind me deciding to have bariatric surgery. And it's one of the reasons why I will never, ever regret it. That we shouldn't, the stigma is wrong. The stigma is wrong, and we are all worthy no matter what size we are. Please, hear us on that. We believe that, and we'll die on that particular hill.
Yep, definitely, because it doesn't matter what people think, in as much as they don't matter. Their opinions are their opinions, and they shouldn't have those opinions. It shows what judgmental assholes they are.
Mm. But your life matters, and your future matters, and the things that you do that have nothing to do with the scales, they matter as well. I love to think there's a lady in our BSA community, and she inspires me so much. But she went back to nursing. She'd been a nurse and a very successful nurse, and she went back to university to go back into that field again after she raised her children. And she's done that now, and she's working in that field. And I know that she attributes at least the start of that being possible to her bariatric procedure. Whatever it is that is in your heart to do, You can do that.
Yeah.
Don't allow the weight, don't allow those negative thoughts or associations, whatever it is that's going on inside you, to be a barrier to you achieving the things that you want to achieve in your life. You can do it. You absolutely can.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
I know. It is just so important.
Yeah, it is. You know, just having that understanding that weight loss surgery, that whole period, the weight loss part, is about what, 12 months, 18 months, however long you're actively losing for. But then you've got a life after that.
Yeah.
There's a life to have. There's a life to be led. There's new goals to achieve. There's dreams to fulfill. There's new horizons to have open up before you. And they're all of the things that are worth fighting for, that don't have a number.
Yeah.
And let's do our best to keep those things in mind, even in those early days when you're looking at the scales, when you're seeing all of those things, or when you feel discouraged. Just remind yourself of the things that are not to do with the scales, the things that are not about how much you weigh or what your BMI is or whatever other thing it is that, we might choose to sort of use to measure our journey. Let's not get focused on success coming from those numbers. Success comes from living the life that we want to live.
Yeah. I totally agree. I know for me, I've put off for too long doing stuff that I always dreamed of doing.
Yeah.
Waiting, whether it be to lose some weight or whatever, and you just miss out on doing life.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm not going to spend another year missing out on doing things that I want to do. And I think that's where the power is, not looking at the scales, looking at how much we enjoy life and making memories with the ones we love.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I often think about some conversations that I've had with with different surgeons and things like that, but particularly probably my plastic surgeon, absolutely sensational surgeon. And I remember when we first started talking about my arm surgery, because my arms, I had a lot of long dangly arm skin. And, he was very, very good to explain that I was going to be trading some, really long skin for some really big, long scars. And I probably, I'd want to still wear t-shirts. I wouldn't be wearing crop tops. And I said, actually, fuck that. I will be wearing crop tops. I don't care about the scars. I don't care about them because I've allowed those things to hold me back for so long. I mean, I still have that with my back and my ass. Do I look like a Shar-Pei from behind? Yes, I do. Do I care? No, I don't. If you happen to see me on the beach, well, probably avert your eyes, because my bottom is wrinkly. I resemble a prude, and that's okay. I'm at peace with it. Well, I'm at peace with me.
But you're not asking
because I'm on the beach
to look at it or to touch it.
That's right. I'm on the beach. I'm not on the sand dunes anymore. I'm on the beach. And we can even in our minds, we can set up, this ideal or this thing that we want to be before we allow ourselves to be happy. I have to do this before I can be happy, or I have to have that before I can be happy. But look, if you wait until you've got all of your ducks in a row to be happy, you're never ever gonna be.
Yep.
Particularly after bariatric surgery, if you wait for that elusive day when the sun, moon, and stars align and all of your skin feels fine, and you I don't know, you're not having reflux that day, or you haven't shit yourself that day, or whatever it is, whatever drama it is. If you wait for a drama-free moment, you'll probably be waiting. But let's just get out there and live our lives.
Yeah. It's the best thing that we can do for ourselves and for everyone else.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Guys, thanks for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed our, I wouldn't call it a rant, but...
No, it's not a rant. It's just, it's a call to action is what it is.
Yeah, that's right. It is.
It's a call to action. It's a passionate call to action. It's us saying we absolutely know what it is to feel stuck. And you're only ever as stuck as you let yourself be.
Yeah. And sometimes we need to do something to pull ourselves out of that.
Yeah. So, I don't know, go touch some grass, go outside, look at the sky, do whatever it is that you need to do to just change your focus for a bit.
And let us know what you're going to do to change that focus as well. We'd love to hear your